Flimsy Lunch Tray here with a Wednesday edition video for you, featuring a low tier matchup in straight standard battle in the Tier VI British Destroyer Icarus, divisioned along with two other clanmates being Warmac Invasion and Hello Everybody 5. So this is I think it was one of our first matches of the evening when we divvied up here. But this match, as from the title, is really going to feel like a 4 versus 12, or you could even say maybe 4 versus 18, but our team does help. It's just maybe not in the ways that count the most, per se. So keep an eye on the Fubuki on our team, as he's going to have a really good match, and he's going to be part of the top 4, along with our division. But what I'm wanting to feature in this video, one is that it's a low tier match, and I really do like featuring low tier matches here on the channel. I don't do it as much as I would want to, and so that's why we're gonna throw this tier 6 match in here today for you. So standard battle means that essentially we have to defend our cap, or the enemy has to take our cap, and vice versa, where we'd have to take their cap. If we take their cap, we win instantly, or point out, or just kill everybody. So here on this flank, pretty much actually really on both sides, but really on this flank inside of the map, most of the time both you and your team, as well as the enemy team, is going to be heading towards these islands right here. This is really where a lot of the action goes down, as you're going to see that happen here. Now, I feel our team is pushing with, and this is before the commander we work, just if anyone's wondering. And so I feel like it's okay to push up this far. I don't want to go beyond the islands. I wanted to stay back here. And with having our British smokes, I go ahead and pop a smoke screen here, which with the British smokes, it's short duration, but fast reload than the American smoke. So I popped my Hydro because there are 2 destroyers over here, and we wanted to know if there's going to be more torpedoes coming in. And so we're just going to be focusing on targets right now. Now, our Hello Everybody has positioned himself more at the central back location on this side of the map. CVs will typically go in that area, if not stick around in the spawn. It kind of helps you prevent being detected if you don't have Concealment Expert or any camouflage. And because we haven't spotted those 2 destroyers for a hot minute, I decided to go ahead and push up here. And really what I should have done is I'm going to critique myself here, I should have just gone left. I shouldn't have decided to push out here slowly, because now I'm going to open myself up to multiple enemy team players. And to be honest, I really don't know why I did end up making this pulling out, because it wasn't the smartest decision. And you can see that I'm paying for it because the enemy team is really focusing on me. But with having the British smokes, we go ahead and pop it, and we're going to be able to escape this danger for the most part. But as you can see, we're on fire and don't have the repair party. So we're going to burn down and lose some more HP, and not having a heal, we're not going to get that health back. So in the beginning phases of this match, I've really put myself in a bad position, in bad situation, because I'm not going to be able to have as much health as I would like to have later on in the match when dealing with the 2 enemy destroyers. So having safely disengaged from the situation, I decide I'm going to bug out. There's no really need for me to stick here. Now, a thing I would suggest and encourage, maybe if you're a battleship player, or maybe even a cruiser player, and you find yourself on this map in this flank, perhaps rather than just following your entire team to these islands here, push more over on the, was it the FG line, because then you're going to get more of the broad side of the enemy team pushing in. As you kind of saw, they were all angled in, versus being a battleship sitting straight in front of them and having a much harder time getting damage dealt effectively. So just think how you can help your team with different crossfires. So the Nuremberg is kind of heading that way on our team already, but I'm not sure why he's heading down that way for right now, but he is. But now we have this Omaha pushing in, and it is gonna be good to take him out. As you can see, it popped a smoke there, so already we've used 3 smokes. And I can just turn around and try to help take out this cruiser here, hopefully. So usually when I try to use the smoke screens, and especially with doing low HP targets, I try to make sure that there's at least 2 targets that I can shoot at, rather than just wasting the smoke screen. And I'm going to leave the smoke screen because, one, it's about to end, and you can already see torpedoes, because these 2 destroyers are really going to be a pain. As you can kind of see, we're being pushed further and further back into our spawn and back into the cap. And right now I'm just really focused on defense because our northern team has not done so well. As you can see, there's an enemy destroyer pushing down towards where Hello Everybody is at. So he's going to have more threats and having to focus up north here shortly. So continuing to move further down. Just trying to figure out where the enemy's at. The Nuremberg there is getting low. And the nice thing is with this Vassraz, whenever he pushes in, I'm always going to be able to out-detect him, right? So it's really going to work to our advantage. And because he's pushed in like he has, I want to punish him for this, as he gets his guns fired, so it means he's going to be detected by some other ships for a little bit. He does get us there with that salvo, but we're going to try to put a fire on him and hopefully take down more of his damage, or his health pool. And so I kind of edge up a little bit here in the smoke screen because, like, again, it is dangerous for me to sit here with the destroyers moving around. Again, being a torpedo magnet. And then this enemy Nuremberg, really need to finish him off here. He's almost dead. And he's getting really close to going outside my range. We did set a fire, but he uses his damage repair party. And we are not able to finish him off. So he's actually going to escape, and you're going to see how he's a pain later on, even though he has 509 health. So we lose our Nuremberg. He's just sailing all around the back of the map, it seems. And we have the Pensacola too, also at low HP. So we have targets that can die. It's just more a matter of our team focusing on and trying to take those targets out. As you can see, we kind of weave in and dive in there. I could have just actually hit the brakes and I would have not had to worry about avoiding more of that. So we're going to go ahead and dump our torpedoes here, since I know that Vassraz is pushing back in. And we saw this enemy Icarus is kind of lingering around the edge of our cap. And what I'm really wanting to do is just hold them off, prevent them from pushing in. Because one of the things that's a disadvantage for us right now is that Hello Everybody is having to deal with the enemy players to the north. Particularly with that enemy destroyer. I think it's the Fubuki. And so that's just means that we're going to have to hold this as we are right now on our own, and not be able to harass those 2 destroyers, especially with the Vassraz not being able to have a smoke screen. So we're just going to position here. If I need to make a quick escape, I can. But if you notice my detectability, my concealment range, I'm really trying to keep it close to the edge of the cap, just so I can have an idea if enemy players decide to push in. And you can see that they're already they are contesting the cap, and so we have no points flow coming in as we lose our other destroyer on our team from the Nuremberg, who only had 509 health. So yeah. So right now, continuing focusing on defense is the most important play here for right now. And you can see I'm kind of reversing now. And because I've used so many smoke screens at the beginning of the battle, I'm having to really honestly play conservative with my smoke screens at this point. I don't want to use them unless I don't have to. And we get detected, and we instantly going to pop the smoke. And we're going to push back forward and stop the reverse. And we take some more damage there. And we're going to start focusing fire on him again, and hopefully we can do some good damage to him here. Keeping an eye of where he was last spotted. So we are going to be blind firing a little bit. And yeah, we got a good little stub on there. And honestly, at this point in critiquing myself, I don't have hideout up. I just need to get. I'm really lingering around too long in the smoke. And you can see this coming in. And so I thought I was going to die here. But because the Icarus has such good acceleration, we're actually able to maneuver and get out of that. If I was in the Farragut, I would have died. Even something like the Vostras. But the British destroyers have such good rudder shift and acceleration that was the only thing that saved me right there. So some torpedo beats there. And because they are taking the cap, I move back in. And those torpedoes a little behind. Because really, I'm trying to just keep them out of the cap until everybody can bring his carrier down here and focus. But again, you see that Nuremberg, he's still alive, I think this time with 300 health. So I'm assuming that destroyer got a shot off on him. And that Nuremberg needs to go, as we're going to continue to wrestle with being behind in points for really the rest of this game until the end. Foreshadowing. So again, you can see kind of where I've positioned myself. I'm just right on the edge of the cap with my concealment detectability, because Icarus and I, if he has concealment expert, we're going to spy each other at the same time. And then this Vostras is never going to be able to get the jump on me because I'm going to be able to always out-detect him. And because he pushes in and we're sitting here, you can see that there was some... The team was pretty good at shooting at him as soon as he appeared, and we incapacitate something there. And because I don't want to use the smoke screen, I just go ahead and disengage, and I'm going to go behind this island. And noting I'm still detected, I know that the enemy Icarus is somewhere off in that direction. And I'm just kind of sit here, and it's good now that the Fubuki, the player I was saying to keep your eye on, he's going to have a really good game. He's here to assist and support and coming down from the north. So that's just going to be really helpful. With that Nuremberg gone, hopefully, hello everybody, will be able to send planes down this direction now. And I'm going to push back in, and I know that there's a possibility that torpedoes may be coming this way, so I'm kind of trying to stick to the edge of this island. Yeah, and there's Vostras torpedoes in two sets of 3. Yeah, so everybody's got his rocket plane, so this is really going to help us now have the edge here that we really needed for a good bit. With the Icarus being low on health and the Vostras being low on health. So I'm just selectively choosing my engagements of when to push in and when not to, until they get chipped down, where then I feel like I can effectively engage them. And so it gets good salvo there, and you can see both destroyers very low in HP now, and so we're going to chime in here, and hopefully being able to hit this Vostras. It's proving to be very hard to do. And you can see I'm not using my smoke screen right now, because I feel like I can do this comfortably enough right now. And both destroyers gone. That's the power of having a CV on your team spotting in this type of situation. So that's really what I was waiting for, is when everybody would be able to come back over. And you can see Warmac has been in the graph spree, continuing to just kind of work that side flank there and fighting with the New Mexico. So now we have threats coming in from the north. As you can already see, I have a teammate telling hello everybody to move down south because it's not safe for him to be there in that position. And still hanging on to that one smoke screen I have. This New Mexico needs to go. I'm going to get rid of him. As he's really been giving Warmac a hard time as he's burning. So I'm keeping an eye here, and I'm just hoping he's going to burn to death. He gets really close to dying, and then he's going to pop his heel. he's going to start being able to combat the fires. So we're going to help push him into the grave and send him back to port. Because the last thing we want is for those fires to go out and him to be able to get back to, like, you know, say 6, 7, 8,000 HP. Because our team is just not really in a position to do that at this point in time. Swarmwreck does get that salvo in on killing him. And again, we have another target, the Iron Duke. At the same time, we popped our smoke screen. So we're going to switch fire and see if we can get him set on fire. And we do. Right on the front bow. And our smoke screen is dissipating now. So we're going to have to exit. And our Fubuki is here to help defend, so that's great. I'm kind of expecting Iron Duke to maybe nose in a little bit more towards the cap, so I'd dump that second set a little off to the left. So between mine and the Fubuki Torps, I have really high hopes that we were going to kill him. And telling the team to just, you know, focus on living. Because if we lose more at this point, it's not going to be good. We don't need to make any wild plays here. As you can see, all the torpedoes heading towards Iron Duke. And I was heading towards the Fubuki smoke screen, but it dissipates. And the Fubuki does get that torp on the Iron Duke, which is fantastic. So now we have the Monticello, however you want to say that, pushing in. And he changes directions of which island he's coming around. As Hello Everybody can't really afford to leave his position, he needs to stay right behind that island. And there's no need for me to get closer, so I'm just going to kite away at this point in time. And that's when I realized the Fubuki kind of flipped directions, because I would have definitely stuck with him to utilize his smoke screen. Because I'm kind of just waiting for my torpedoes to come back online at this point. And then seeing that he's getting closer to me, you can see using again the acceleration to our advantage, and we're going to stay outside his concealment range. But then I noticed that the enemy CV has planes coming in on Hello Everybody, so then I'm having to change my direction and go this way, as we were briefly detected. So again, me dying here is not going to help anything, so I'm not going to open fire. I'm just going to observe, and hopefully this torpedo hits and gets him right on the bow. So again, the Fubuki player did really well, and I even complimented him after battle, if memory serves me correctly. So now we just need to run. I'm low on HP, I have no smokes. I don't need to put myself between or get close to Hello Everybody, because if the CV detects me close to Hello Everybody, that is not going to be good for me, especially with this low of health. So just distancing ourselves, because we know that he's going to be going for Hello Everybody. He's a big obvious target with low health pool. So we're just going to move off in this direction. So I'm going to stay somewhat close to the Fubuki player just to support him and back him up. The Icarus doesn't have good AA, so don't think you can just dive right in combating a CV player all by yourself. The Icarus is not made to do such things. Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the AA range on the Icarus is not good. But I can't remember what it is right now, because it's been a little bit since I played her. As this battle was probably two weeks ago. And I don't believe that Hello Everybody has any more fighter planes to be able to defend himself at this point in time, so he's gone mobile, because it's not necessarily good for him to sit still. But he is going to go down to the enemy ranger. Fubuki has dumped a bunch of torpedoes down that narrow gap of the channel. And as you can see, time is about to run out. And look at our points. We're just 4 points ahead of the enemy team. Barely. Just 4. We give us a brief moment we have 6 points ahead, but just 4. And that was important. If those 2 enemy destroyers had stayed in the cap for just a few seconds longer, it would have meant the enemy team would have won. And so that was an important play on my behalf of just sticking close and being a deterrent and trying to keep the DDs out of our cap. Yeah, so really close play. As you can see, I'm excitingly saying, chat, don't give away your location, just live, because I don't want to lose this battle after so much hard effort. So I'm going to post-battle results. As you're going to see, we're going to end with over 250,000 credits, over 8,000 experience, and over 4,000 free XP, with just 1 destroyed and 6 set on fires. As I had some camouflage and special signals mounted, since I am moving up the British destroyer tech tree line right now. And then going into the team score, you're going to see that why I say 4 versus 12. Because only 4 of us killed any of the enemy team. And also being the top 4 players on our team as well, as the enemy ranger did really good. And also that New Mexico did well to hang on as long as he did. And you see our damage is fairly spread out, and a lot of engagement with the Vastras and the Icarus, as you can see, in finishing off that Omaha when he was about to die. And then ending with over 228,000 credits profit with premium accounts. So all in all, this was a really good battle. Really, I did enjoy it. It was kind of, an ending with just 4 points advantage is pretty crazy. And just seeing how you can really see that this was a defensive destroyer play with the position our team was in standard battle. Too often it's easy for teams to just kind of abandon their own spawn, but it's somewhat hard to do that on this type of map with how the islands and where the spawns are located. So in all, really good battle, and hopefully this kind of shows you the value of low tier defensive destroyer play, but then also where I critique myself, where I took too much damage, and then we burned probably some more smoke screens than we needed to at the beginning, and so we had to really play conservatively with the smoke after that. So if you liked today's battle, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. And if you have already subscribed, again, as always, thanks so much as we look to grow the community here with you. So until next time, take care.